and welcome to Issues and Society. Issues and Society is a program that discusses trending issues as it affects our day-to-day pursuits. My name is Zainab Ubeb. Today we're looking at education. The kids are back in school. My focus today will be on FCT Ubeb, Universal Basic Education Board. And my guest is Executive Chairman, Dr. Hassan Sule. Don't go away.
With an ever-evolving society, there are everyday issues in the marketplace, in government, in our social lives, even in our homes. Issues and Society brings these happenings to you. Join us on this station. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call 081 100 00712, or better still, follow us on our social media handles. And so it's good to have you join us once again on our regular program, Issues and Society. Well, on the program with us today is a very unique Nigerian, a man who has carved a niche for himself in his own little way. With us is the Chairman Secretary for the FCT Universal Basic Education Board, fondly called FCT Ubeb, in the person of Dr. Hassan Sule. It's a pleasure having you on the program.
You are welcome.
Now, we've got to just take it from the very top. FCT Ubeb, can you give us a sense of what your office is all about?
FCT means FCT Universal Basic Education Board, and we are the custodian of basic education in FCT. What I mean by custodian is that we manage and supervise basic education. This includes primary, nomadic, special needs, and junior secondary schools. And in our own take, we ensure that every child of school age resident in FCT get access to quality, affordable, free basic education without any hindrance.
And so how has the journey fared so far since you have been in the office?
No, to be candid, we've been doing our best. But to ensure that we meet our objectives, there are various challenges. Number one, FCT is the heart of the nation. And by implication, we have issues of influx of migrants coming to the FCT. And by such, certainly we have consequential effects, that is, overstretching of our facilities. Certainly, budgets are usually made only once a year. But people coming in, they don't come only once, they come at any time. And as they come along with their works. And certainly, we need to give them opportunity to access our basic schools. Consequently, if they're not budgeted for, we have to start looking for how we are going to manage such crisis.
Now, you look at education generally, and how a whole lot of out-of-school children, what is the board doing to try to see how they can walk these kids out the streets?
You see, it is unfortunate that globally the issue of out-of-school children has become an issue. In FCT, we only get access to data from Universal Basic Education Commission. And the only data we have of recent is that of 2018, where it was said FCT has more than 200,000 out-of-school children. But by God's grace, we'll be doing our best, number one, to give orientation through our Department of Social Mobilization. Because there is this wrong concept, especially girl child education, where some religion frown at a girl child when she is mature, she still remain with the parents or still remain in the school. And we're trying to ensure that we disabuse this kind of wrong concept. Besides, some community are feeling that a child to access basic education needs to pay. But federal has made it very, very clear that the basic education is a right. It's never a privilege. It's a right for the child. And that's the reason why penalties are actually imposed on any parent that refuses to take his child to school, because it's all right as a human being, not a privilege. Therefore, we've been doing advocacy visits to traditional rulers, opinion leaders in the communities, to ensure that these children are given this opportunity to access basic education, because it's only education that a child can guarantee his future. And thank God of recent, we've been having force of people coming back to school, because there's a program we've introduced now known as head-to-head debate, where such issues are being emphasized in the debate. For instance, a child asks his own colleague, why don't you go to school? I say, no, they say we should pay school fees. School fees, that's not basic education. So these are some examples we are using our head-to-head debate, so that children outside the streets will know that actually basic education FCT, even nationally, is free and compulsory.
Now,
last academic session, we've received more than 7,000 out of school children that came out into the system.
Now, this is not the only, Universal Education Board. You have them scattered across the country. Now, what is unique about the FCT Ubeb?
As I've said, FCT is the heart. I want to be the heart. If there's no heart in the body, what happens? The body remains lifeless. That is why in FCT, I've already started initiating what we call smart schools across the area council, so that our schools will compete favorably with other conventional schools outside Nigeria, so that we can compete effectively globally. And by so doing, expatriates, diplomats will be interested in bringing their school to our own public schools. And we need to do that to raise the standard, because this is the heart of the government. And certainly where there is capital, we have foreigners, everybody, we need to look above board, so that we'll be emulating, we'll be competing favorably with other countries that we think they are above Nigeria.
Now, I know that sometimes when you ask these questions for people to talk about their achievements, sometimes they share about for you, since you came on board, what have been some of those remarkable achievements that you have introduced here at, or recorded here at FCT Ubeb?
Number one, let me give an example. During COVID-19 outbreak, incidentally all schools were closed down, but FCT introduced a unique platform known as FCT Learn at Home program, where with the support of Hausa Radio and Television, UB Commission, and FCT administration, we were able to record some lessons. And we distributed radio and television set across the 6 area councils, where children will live in clusters and be watching programs one or two. When the school closed more than 7 months. But this was still, I did nothing but keep abreast with happenings around the world, keep abreast with their lessons while they are at home with their parents. That's one. Number two, in FCT, we also ensure that girl child, especially this northern part of the country, where, as I've said, female education are not taken very, very serious. But in FCT, we introduce boarding model girls junior secondary schools, where girls, all the 6 area council actually sponsoring the girl child here without parents being overstretched to pay anything. That is number 3, as I've said. We ensure that children that are out of school, they start running back, going to school feeding, our advocacy visits to traditional rulers, and sensitization of the communities, and they are back. Number 3, we ensure that into insecurity, allow children to trek more than 10 kilometers. We discover the present thing is very dangerous. We will ensure that we establish schools very close to the community to avoid trekking to access schools in the neighboring community, because anything can happen along the road. So among others, these are some of the issues that I think make that are very unique now. We ensure that more than within the last between the last two years, we establish at least not less than 50 schools, both primary and junior secondary schools.
Now, looking at your supervising minister, how will you appraise the administration of, grammar to teacher here.
If not for our support, we would have done what we are doing. Whatever I'm doing, she's the Iroko behind me. She's the Iroko behind me. She will say, Ubeb, what are you doing? Say, ma. She will say, do this. She gives me instructions. And I follow the instructions. And that's why we are achieving this. So we can't do, she's a wonderful. I think she's the Iroko behind our successes. That's the truth of the matter. She's always on me. She's always putting me on my toes. Do this, do that, do this, do that. And we give glory to God that we have a wonderful minister behind me. That's the truth. And I believe in the shortest period, FCT will be transformed to another little Japan, going to the science that things that we do in our schools.
Now we know that relationship with the bosses could be sometimes pressure and all that. What is that one thing you still wish that they can do to make your work easy here at FCT Ubeb?
To be candid, is an issue that affects everybody. Let me give an example. We have budget provisions to ensure that we construct more classrooms, renovate more classrooms, buy money furnitures, train our teachers. Unfortunately, the dreaded friend, COVID-19, came knocking our doors. So most of the budget provision has to be diverted to address the issue of COVID-19. These are the unprepared expected happenings. You get it? So funding become a problem. Did you budget for COVID-19? No. But it needs to be addressed. So these are issues that actually affect us. And I was telling you about the program introduced, Learn at Home program. It was not in a project, but you need to start sourcing for funds somewhere. So these are some of the issues. And thank God with the kind of Iroko I have behind me, that's the Coordinating Minister of State, Dr. Adu. And when it came, he said, go ahead, I will support you. And we succeeded. So the major problem to be candid is funding. Like the issue of the smart school we're talking about. She took it very serious. And she wanted to be done in all the CCA councils. But the problem is her very big dream. And I believe she's going to achieve it. But our issues is all the funding. Because everyday inflation, you get it. One man was about 1 billion. That was about a year ago. But you see what's happening between exchange rate.
So, two more questions before I let you go. Now, let's look at teachers, training. What are the programs you have, for teachers training and retraining, to meet up with modern teaching ethics?
To be candid, in the last, between 2020 to date, we have trained more than 7,000 teachers. More than 7,000. Computer training, lesson preparing, anything that has to do with teaching practice, anything that has to do with pedagogue, we actually involve them. And even when this COVID-19 broke out, how to maintain and control the children. We also invite them for a training, both head teachers, the principals. To be candid, we don't have problem with the training. But as I've said, to ensure that you meet up with the teaming population according to the FCT. And most of our schools, because of the influx, there's a need for more teachers. Some are retiring, and we're not employing. You get it? And so the consequent effect is that we will need more teachers to meet up. And if you employ new teachers, what you need to do for them, to allow them know what they are doing, you need to train them. And so there must be better provision for them. So there is this overstretch of the facilities on ground. Normally, maybe if you budget for maybe 5,000 teachers, and now with the influx of people, you now engage PTA teachers, you need to also train them. So you can see the consequential effects of as far as FCT is concerned. So we've been doing our best as far as training is concerned. I thought I trained more than 7,000, both teachers, principals, and the staff around them.
Dr. Hassan Sule, tell us a bit about yourself.
About myself?
Very difficult question.
Mine is simple. Dr. Hassan Sule. I'm from Abaji, area council. And to be candid, started my primary school there briefly. After graduation, I went to Government Secondary School Cotton Carfe. From there, proceeded to Kaduna Polytechnic. From there, I went to University of Minsk to do education. Belarus. From there, I moved to Volgograd. I brought my master's and PhD, both in education. I lectured briefly on statistics before coming back to Nigeria. Get FCT Ubeb. And I've been, I worked briefly, taught, I thought briefly, before becoming a supervisor, the local medical secretary, and I was one time the national president of the secretaries in Nigeria. Before God in the wisdom gave me this position through High Excellency Dr. Tijani Ali.
And when you're not doing this business of education, what do you do for leisure?
For leisure?
Yeah.
To be candid, I don't allow my mind empty. I'm only thinking what I do to bring a change, especially as far as education is concerned. I'm only thinking of what I do, what I do that will be new, what I do that will be a model for others to emulate. So I don't think of any other thing but how to inculcate ethical discipline in the children and how to ensure that I assist them to explore their hidden potentials.
Now I'm going to ask you this question. I mean, I know it's going to come like, a surprise to you just before I let it go. Now, among the sea of, people working under, the ministry and, the minister, you are just one of those people who is unique and they want you to speak on, an achievement and all that. Why would you think that you were just so special in your own ways in doing things?
But to me, I don't think we as being special. You get it? But that's one thing I want to tell you that education in our life is very, very important. You see, as far as mankind is concerned, to me, we have three basic challenges now that nobody wants to even dream up these three challenges. Number one, poverty. Nobody will ever to be poor. Isn't this? Number two, disease, illness. Nobody will ever think of maybe
any health challenge.
Yes. And number three, fear of God. How what I'm doing, whether you forgive me or not. But to have remedy to this is through education. Even if you want to worship your God, you have to have education to worship the God. And certainly somebody holding such position, that's not education, you have to be revered. So I think that's not the magic. You get it.
As the son of the soil here in Abuja, what are the advice you want to give to youth watching you now?
The advice is simple. Number one, government has only given them the enabling opportunity. The key. And what is the key? Education. Let them ensure that they embrace this opportunity. When they embrace it, we put their two hands together. Because that is the only way, the fastest way for them to actualize their dream. No matter how tall the dream is, education will make it closer to them. And that's the only education I can advise them. Education, no matter what they do, let them face the education. And let them convince their parents that it is their right, not even a privilege. So that's what I can give the team use as far as I'm concerned.
Well, we want to say a very big thank you for making our time. We know you're a very busy man, even though we have so many other questions. But again, we want to say thank you so much for making our time for this interview, sir.
You are welcome. It's my pleasure.
Well, that's the much we can take from our guest on the program today. The program remains Issues and Society. Join us same time next week. The name remains Prosper. With an ever-evolving society, there are everyday issues in the marketplace, in government, in our social lives, even in our homes. Issues and Society brings these happenings to you. Join us on this station. For sponsorship and advert placement, please call 081-100-00712, or better still, follow us on our social media handles.
The doctor said it is the right of every Nigerian child to be in school and not a privilege. I think I like that. It is the right of every Nigerian child to be in school and not a privilege. Join us again, same time, same station next week. I am Zainab Ubeb. Should you miss any of our broadcasts today, you can join the conversation on our social media platform. Thanks for watching.